CM Mario. Is he in the game?
Hello, buenos dias, my Cinematic Amigo, and today, as the title says, I'm going to show you some basic rules, the holy grail for small clubs, what to do and how to manage them. These rules will help you improve your game substantially, trust me, and let us go without further ado. Rule number 1. As you enter a club, what you need to do is look at your team, or your players, and what are you going to do first? You're going to get rid of the old people. Talking about the old people, the guys who are over 32 years old to play soccer. Unfortunately, they are not effective enough. I'm not talking about Sadio Mane material, okay? I'm talking about the old, useless, usual player, okay? There are plenty of them, and you should be wary of it. As soon as you get to your team, check out, see who's the old people that you will not need or will not give you any sort of profit, and probably their contract is going to expire in the end of the year, so get rid of them ASAP. Rule number 2, sign as many free players or whatever you can that you need to fulfill your 22 players. Please make these players below 31 years old and with at least 2 years contract, so you can actually have a profit with them when the time comes. September arrives and there you are with your team, and hopefully you've signed the players you could for the purpose, okay? What are you going to do now? You're going to review all the contracts in your team. Make sure that the part-time contracts are full-time contracts and that the contracts that are expiring on players that you can foresee that you can make a penny out of them will be renewed for another year at least, so you can sell them during the season when the time comes. That's rule number 3. So the season progresses after September. You renewed your contracts. Now you probably are thinking about selling a couple of players, maybe, to have some positive money. Why do you need this positive money? Because July will appear, and when January comes and you want to propose contracts to players, if you're a negative, you're going to be stuck in the bottom wage range to offer the players. If you are positive though, if you have some money, the board will unlock that and you will be able to offer way more money for a player per month or whatever you prefer to use per week, doesn't matter. What will happen here? Your market for July will improve dramatically, like dramatically. This is fundamental to have a great July market. Just there in that moment, January, make sure you have the money. Offer contracts to the best players you can, loads of them, and get them signed for July. And here we are, the season progresses, you already know who's coming in July, or at least you have a good idea of who you're going to replace, and some of the players you won't need, but they are still playing. Some of them are playing very good. What are you going to do? Sell them. Sell them by May, at least. During April, ideally, sell them, because the interest will be bombing on your team if your team is performing. And you can sell those players for a good amount of money. They won't leave the club. They will only leave the club in July as well. So make sure to know the team that you are negotiating with, that they are not foreign restricted or they actually have the money to pay when July comes. Do that. Sell them ASAP, okay? You're going to shorten your team at this stage. They're going to be like TRN on all of them. That's what you want by June. Loads of TRNs, and by July you will get the transitions, you'll get a lot of money, and you'll get a new team, as I showed you in the video before about rules to sell and buy players. And rule number 6 goes with what I was just saying here. So make sure that you buy the players you need by the update. Why? Because sometimes when the season update comes, the player does not want to go to your club anymore. Or the club in question that was selling him an unhappy player or a player that was listed, all of a sudden they are increasing their demands for the player. So make sure whatever you want to sign, they will be there in your market by June. If you can pay, just make sure that you make your signings there. Sell the players before the market update appears, otherwise they will be more expensive or the club will no longer negotiate with you and you will be very, very sad. And as rule number 7 for small clubs, never, ever, ever, ever ask the board to expand your stadium. Like, never, ever. If you do that, and even if they accept, the council will not allow the constructions to go forward, which is so annoying. Just make sure that you have money by May or June by the season update, and that the average in the end of the year was all close to your maximum capacity. Don't ask the board, they will increase the stadium, and there will be no word from the council whatsoever. Just please, as a rule, like a rule to have, do not ever ask the board to improve your stadium. Never. And this leads us to rule number 8 and last but not least. You will always strive to have the premium training facilities in your club, okay? This is what it's all about. Top facilities plus youth academy. This, you have to insist on them every single season until this happens, okay? There's no more possibility of investing in youth development. Let's just say that you reached 20. 1 would be awful facilities and 20 would be this. No more to develop. Even if they're like amazing, but you can still make works on them, they're probably like a 17 or from a 15 to a 20 somewhere. Maybe like a 17 when they're top. Good training facilities would be like what, a 13, maybe 14 to 15. And the average would be like a 10. Let's call the average a 10 and everything below until awful. Okay? So pretty much these are the whole 8 golden rules for small clubs that you have to have in consideration with whichever league you want to play. If you use a really small club, like what I do often enough, I have those rules in consideration, and usually I do pretty okay. The English league has a ton of money, so this is one of those leagues that you can easily make all these transitions and see this in progress. The G5 in Europe will allow you to implement these rules in any club from a bottom division and see them all working perfectly in progress. Go by me, guys, don't be shy. As always, trying to give you the best advice. Mario Fonso, over and out. Adios, motherfuckers. Ciao.
CM Mario. Is he in the game?